Hello.
Hi, I hope I'm audible. Perfect.
Yeah, hi
Let's
Divya,
start.
you are audible.
Hi, Shrikant. Hi. So, as you know, yesterday we started our demo classes. Today is our second day. Okay. But I can see few students who are attending today only, right? So, actually, yesterday I just gave the introduction about SQL. What is SQL? What is database? And I explained about the user interface of MySQL, of course, which I'll repeat today also. Okay. And then we'll continue with that yesterday's class. So before that, as I said yesterday, once again, let me introduce about myself. Will we get this recording? Of course, Jyoti, you will get the recording. Once, as these are demo classes, you can find the recordings as you attended the class. You will get a mail from our admin team. In that, they will give you a link of this video recordings. And once you get registered with us, after that, we will give you the video recordings as well as the notes available for you for 6 months. Okay. All right. So let me continue. As I said yesterday, I'm Divya. I have about 8+ years of experience into data analytics. I have experience in teaching all the data science subjects like SQL, Power BI, Tableau, statistics, machine learning, and Python. Okay. So with DURGASOFT, currently I'm teaching MySQL and Tableau. Yesterday we started MySQL batch, right? Just a second. So as you know, the course duration is 35 days. That is 35 sessions I'll take. I'll take classes usually from Monday to Friday. Okay, so 35 sessions it will take to finish our course content. Our course. Yesterday I explained about the course content, and today also, like last 10 minutes, once again I'll explain about the course content. Right? So first of all, what is database? Yesterday I spoke a little bit about importance of data, which I'm not repeating. Generally, we are generating lots of data, right? And that is where we want a better management system where we can store the data, correct? And then databases came into existence. Basically, what is databases in the sense? It's nothing but collection of data, right? Where we will store the data and where we can, from where we can maintain the data, I can say. Database is a place where we will store the data, or we can say collection of data. Collectively, we can store the data inside database, right? Then what is SQL? Full form, of course, we know that is structured query language, right? And to understand clearly about SQL, I took one example yesterday, but I think that is a very basic example, which I'm not repeating. If anyone is interested, you can watch yesterday's video, right? But still, what is SQL? It is a language which is used to communicate with the database, right? Inside database, we will store the data. And whenever we wanted to fetch the data, whenever we wanted to communicate with the database, definitely we need to use a language that is nothing but SQL. Okay. We have some syntaxes and queries in SQL. By using those, we will basically communicate with the database. That is communication here in the sense, if we want, according to our requirements, whatever data we wanted to see, whatever data we wanted to fetch, we will use as a medium to communicate with the database, right? So SQL is a universal declared language. All the concepts which we are going to learn is, the concepts are from SQL only. But as I said, we are going to learn MySQL, right? Then what is MySQL in the sense? As I said yesterday, we have so many databases in the market. We have so many tools in the market nowadays, right? Like Oracle SQL, MySQL, SQL Server, PostgreSQL, like that. We have so many databases in the market. SQL is a standard language. The concepts will be same, but to use that SQL, we have so many tools out there. Okay. From that tools, we are using MySQL to
MySQL here. And the reason why we are using MySQL in the sense that is an open source platform. I didn't set this point yesterday. Open source platform. Right? That is nothing but MySQL is freely available for everyone. That is, I mean, open source in the sense it is freely available actually. Okay. That is the reason everyone, even it is small companies, even it is big companies, they are preferring to use MySQL because it is freely available and we have so many safety and security settings, extra settings in MySQL when compared to other databases. But still, if you learn MySQL and if you can even work on SQL Server or PostgreSQL also because the concepts will be same. Okay, only the user interface of this database will be different, but the concepts, the queries, everything will be same. You can work on any on the database, no problem. Okay, and as I said yesterday, first let me show once again explain you about the user interface of MySQL. Once we are done with our demo classes, I'll show you the installation process of MySQL. No worries. Okay, I'll make you to install this in your systems. After opening the MySQL, this is the page where we can get. Okay, so let me explain about this once again. So as we know, this is a file menu and this is a toolbar. Okay, this is a menu bar. First one is menu bar and the second one is toolbar where we have all the options. Okay, so you can see this is a editor page. Okay, this is a editor page where we will write all the queries. We can see this is a SQL file, right? To open this SQL file, we have two options. In the menu bar, first file, inside file, either you can click on the second option, that is new query tab. If I'm clicking on it, one more new file is being opened, right? Or else simply the shortcut, the first icon in the toolbar. This is the shortcut to open a new file. Okay, two ways, anything is fine. Inside file menu, second option, or else directly the first icon in the toolbar. If I'm just clicking on this, even we can able to open a new file. Okay, I'm just closing for now. So inside this file we will write in this file only we will get the editor where we will write all the queries. And towards the left side you can see something called as schemas, right? Below schemas, whatever you can able to see here, this all are databases. In my system, whatever database is available, all the list of the databases I can see towards the left side here below schemas. Okay, by default we have only one database, that is sys database. Once you install your software you can able to see only one, that is sys database. But then going forward, whatever databases you will create, that databases you can able to see here like this. Okay, and this is information section at the bottom. Basically if we are selecting anything from here, we can able to see that about that information in the information section here. Previously I just selected sys database, that is what it is showing me, right? And here at the bottom, this is output section. Okay, once we execute any queries, we can able to find the outputs here. Okay, and inside every file again we are having some options, right? If I'm opening a new file, again I can able to see some options here. What is this options in the sense? Of course, second icon you can recognize this is a save button. After writing any queries, if you wanted to save this file, we'll click on this button. And if we wanted to open already saved file, okay, we will save the file into our systems, right? If you wanted to open already saved file, we'll click on the first icon, that is folder icon. I'm just selecting on this. You can see it is asking me to select any of the file, whatever file I wanted to see. I can open like this. Okay, we can access the files like this. And the third icon, important, execute button. Okay, this one. After writing any query, to see the outputs, we will click on the execute button. Basically, we'll execute that. So this is the execute button. Okay. For now, these options are enough. Going forward, we will see about the other options. So this is about user interface of MySQL. Of course, I explained yesterday also. Again, I repeated for the new students. Okay. And next we have something called as comments in SQL. Like any other programming language, here also we'll have comments. Comments in the sense, whatever we write inside comment, that is non-executable. If we don't want to execute anything, we'll just keep that inside comments. Okay, it can be any query, it can be any code, or else if you wanted to write any, any information here like this. For example, here in my classes, what I'll do, whatever theory part I'll write that inside quotes. Okay, basically we have sorry, inside comments, basically we have two types of comments here, that is single line comment and a multi-line comment. Okay, single line comment in the sense, in that one particular line is considered as a comment. Whatever you wanted to write, you can write, right? We on single line comment we have two symbols. One is this one, two hyphens. If you can see above also, I used two hyphens. That is nothing but, this is a kind of theory which I actually, once you got registered, along with the daily videos, along with the class videos, we will give notes also, right? Instead of giving any PDF files, what I'll do, I'll upload this SQL file only for you as a notes, where you can find the theory part here only, syntaxes here only, examples here only, all at it, in one place you will able to find it, so that whenever you wanted to revise, it will be easy for you, right? So basically in my classes, all the theory part or all the notes, whatever I'm giving, I'll write them inside quotes like this. Okay. So two symbols, either this symbol we can use, or else hash also we can use for single line comment. You can see here, I used hash for one line, and I used this symbol for one line. Likewise, we have multi-line comments also. Suppose not in a single line, like a paragraph, if we wanted to write inside comments, then we will use multi-line comment. And the symbol is this one. This is the start of the comment and this is the end of the comment. Okay. Hash star star hash. In between, we can write whatever we wanted to write. Okay. This is about the comments. So as I said yesterday, first we will create database, right? Just a second. Let me. So as I said yesterday, first we will create the database. Inside a database, we will create the tables, and inside tables, we will store the data. Correct? So tables, basically it's nothing but collection of rows and columns, right? For example, I wrote one table here, like employees is my table. Suppose if employees is my table, okay, I am giving some data here like this. So this is a table, and here vertical thing is called as columns, right? So vertical thing is called as columns, and horizontal thing is called as rows. Okay, so every time, table is nothing but it's a collection of rows and columns. That is, here I'm having four columns. Employee ID is one column, employee name one column, salary is one column, date of joining is one column, and I'm having two rows of data. That is, this is first row of data and this is second row of data, right? Like that. So as this is Excel file, I'm just showing like this, but we will create this tables in database, right? Let's see how we are going to create. So as I said, first we will create the database, right? Inside a database only we need to create the table. So we have something called as syntaxes here, right? For everything, whatever we do here, we have a syntax. Syntax is nothing but, you can consider that as a formula or a rule. Okay. So for creating database also, we have a syntax. That is, the syntax is create database name. Okay. This is the syntax. So that is what I created yesterday. I gave, every time we need to give the unique names for databases and tables. Okay. I already created SQL demo one yesterday. Let me just drop it. Just give me a second. I'm just removing that so that I'll create once again, and I'll show it for you. Okay. So I just deleted whatever I created yesterday. Once again, I'm trying to create it because as I already created yesterday, now if I create it, it will throw me error stating if I execute this line once again, it will throw me error stating database already exists. That is the reason I just removed that database. Okay. Now let's create it once again. For creating the database, the syntax is create database name. Okay. That is what I gave. Create database. Our database name is SQL demo 1. Okay. So I'm just selecting this line. This is the execute button. I'm executing it. You can see this is the output section where you can see green color tick mark like this. That means it got executed successfully. If you got any errors, you can find a red color cross mark. Okay. Now the database got created. To see this database name in this list, we need to refresh once. You can see here we have a refresh button, right? I'm just clicking on the refresh button. You can see we got the SQL demo 1 database here, right? We can expand this. If I'm expanding, or if I'm clicking on this symbol, you can see we have 4 sections in every database. Okay, that is tables, views, stored procedures, functions. We will learn everything. Okay, at this point of time we are concentrating on tables. Once we will learn about it, we will learn about views, stored procedures also going forward. Okay, so we created our database. After creating the database, we need to activate the database, because here you can see we have so many databases, right? So now we decided to use SQL demo 1 database, right? We know that, but how SQL should also know, able to know that, right? SQL should also know that we are going to use SQL demo 1, right? To make SQL understand that what is the database we wanted to use, we need to activate the database. Okay, whatever database we are activating, SQL will understand that database only we are going to use, and going forward whatever queries we will execute, all that queries will be executed under that database only. Okay, so to activate the database, have we need to use command, and the syntax is use database name. Okay, this is the syntax. Yesterday actually I explained up to here. That is the reason I'm not writing once again everything. Okay, so use database name. I already wrote use SQL demo 1. This is our database name, right? That is what I wrote. Now let me execute this. So I selected, I'm executing. Okay. Now you can see it got highlighted, right? You can see it went into dark bold color characters, right? That is nothing but this database is in activation now. So now whatever queries we will execute, SQL will execute all those queries under this database only. So every time daily whenever we started working, first and foremost we need to activate the database, then only we need to start working on it. Okay, basically in real time, of course, we will work on only one database. We will directly connect to our client's database. But in the learning process, as we will have so many databases, every time we need to activate the database here. Okay. So we created the database, we activated the database, right? Up to here only I explained yesterday. Now let's continue with the remaining concepts. Okay. So we created the database, we activated the database. Next, we need to create a table. Okay. So now let's create our first table. So to create the table, obviously we need to use create command. Create is a command which is used to create any database object. Okay. Any database objects. Database objects in the sense that is tables, it can be views, it can be stored procedures. Okay, so to create any of them, these are all called as database objects. To create the tables, to create views, to create procedures, we will use create command only. For now, let's see the syntax of creating tables. Whenever we are learning other concepts, we will see how we are going to create that. Okay, so now let's create our first table by using create command. Okay, we have a syntax for that also, and the syntax is create table name. Okay, table name. After writing table name, we need to use brackets like this. Technically we will call them as parentheses. Okay, so within the brackets we can give the column names. Okay, suppose column name 1, and let me write this, I'll explain you in a while. Column name 2, data type, Like that, how many columns we want, that many columns we can write. Suppose here in Excel file I give 4 columns, right? Employee ID, employee name, salary, date of joining. Like that, how many columns I want, that many column names I can give within the brackets here. But for each and every column name we need to define a data type also. Then what is data type? First let's understand about what is data type, how many types of data types are there, then we will get back to this create table syntax. Okay, so let's try to understand about what is data type first. If you remember yesterday I said that in database what we are doing, we are storing the data, right? Of course, before databases came into existence, what is the situation? In systems we can store the data inside Excel files, right? But in Excel file also we can store the data, in text files also we can store the data. Before computers came into existence, we used to store the data in files like in papers, right? But after computers came into existence, we stored the data inside Excel files mainly, right? But we have some limitations in Excel file, we have some disadvantages in Excel file. That's where databases came into existence, right? After a few days I'll explain about the limitations of Excel file also, what are all the problems we have, what are the limitations we have in Excel file, and why databases came into existence, and how we overcome those limitations by using database, we will discuss going forward. Okay, so but for now at this point of time, to make you understand about data type concept, let me explain you about one of the limitations of Excel file. Okay, that is nothing but, suppose this is one table, correct? Example, here we have salary column. Salary, in the sense we know that that will be in the form of numbers, right? I gave here for Ram is my employee, and for him the salary is 65,000. Suppose here instead of this, if I'm just writing something else, if I'm writing hello, or randomly if I'm writing anything, it is just accepting, right? Excel is not telling me that this is salary column, you need to enter numbers only, but you entered something else. It is not telling me like that. It is not stopping me entering any wrong data, right? It is not giving me any error that I'm entering, I entered some wrong data. It is not telling me, correct? This is one of the biggest drawback in Excel file. Whatever data we give, knowingly or unknowingly, of course we are humans, we will do so many mistakes, we can do mistakes, right? Where human errors are possible. So knowingly or unknowingly, if we enter any wrong data, Excel won't stop us. Whatever data we enter, it will just accept, right? That is one of the biggest drawback of Excel. So we overcome that drawback in databases with this data types concept. Okay, data types, by using data types concept, we overcome that problem in databases. So now what is data type in the sense, let me write the definition first. As I said, first let's understand about data type and then we will create the table. Okay, so what is data type in the sense? Data type is used to decide what kind of value we can enter in any table. Okay, so while we are entering any values inside table, data types only will decide what kind of values we can enter. Okay, that is what I said, right? Because this is salary column, actually we can able to we can enter only numbers here, right? This is date of joining, that is dates column, we can actually need to enter only dates here, right? Like that, how this we need to, either we need to enter numbers, or either we need to enter dates, or either we need to enter characters, that will be decided by data types only. That is what I wrote here, data types only will decide what kind of value we can enter in any table. Okay, so how many data types we have? We have few data types, like numeric data type. Okay, and the second one is character or string data type. Date data type. These three are important data types which we will use very frequently. Of course, along with these three, we have Boolean data type also. Okay, let me show you one picture quickly. So these are main types of data types. SQL data types, that is numeric data type, character or string data type, date and time data type. Okay, date and time data type. So again, in this numeric data type, we have two types of data types. Okay, that is int and float. Basically, if we wanted to store any numbers, we will use int data type. Okay. If we wanted to store numbers, we will use int data type. But in float, if we wanted to use decimal values, okay, whenever we wanted to store decimal values, then we will use float data type. Okay, suppose you can see a 1.2, 2.4, these are decimal values. Whenever in int, normal int data type, it won't accept decimal values. Okay, let me repeat, numeric data types again divide into two types. One is int and the second one is float. So in int only numbers we can store. In float, if it will accept numbers as well as decimal values also. Even if you give 2 also it will accept. If you give 2.5 also it will accept. That is float will accept. Okay, so whenever you wanted to give decimal values, you can use this float. You already got registered, Jyoti?
Hello.
Yes, hi.
Yes, ma'am. I got registered yesterday itself.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So actually, after demo classes, they will give you the folder access. You need to wait for a couple of days. But still, in that, I mean, in the meanwhile, if you wanted to see this videos, I think you got a mail today from our team. Just a second, let me show you. You'll get one mail like this. Okay.
Okay.
Follow-up mail. In this, you can find a demo videos link. In actually in your Durgasoft's YouTube channel, they will upload these videos.
Okay.
Observe, you will find this, you will get this mail definitely. There they will provide the demo content. Okay. That is, whatever course content we are going to cover, demo link, obviously this link only, demo videos is there, no? If you click on
Okay.
this link, you can able to find the videos. Okay,
Okay.
they will upload all the demo videos in YouTube channel. Once we are done with the demo videos, then they will give you the folder access. Again, there also you can able to find all the videos. Okay, but to give
Okay.
the folder access, definitely we should complete demo videos first. For all the students, they will give at a time video access. Okay, just
Okay.
it's about couple of days. Till then, just watch the videos in this demo videos link. Okay, in YouTube channel directly you can able to watch the videos.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
fine, perfect. So numeric data type, as I said, int and float, two types of data types are there. So if we wanted to use decimal values, we will use float. Okay. And next we have character or string data type. Obviously, if we wanted to store character data, we will use this data type. Again, here also we have two data types. That is char and varchar. So what is this char? What is varchar? What is the difference between them? I'll explain you in a while. Okay, next in date and time data type also we have two data types. One is date data type and the second one is date time data type. Okay, that is if we wanted to store only dates, we will use date data type. Along with the date, if we wanted to store time, then we will use date time data type. Okay, so that is what I wrote here, right, in this picture. So now format. Always in SQL, we have a day. The format of writing the dates, we have one format. Okay, date format, that is year, complete year, then month, then date. This format only we need to use. If we write in any other format, it won't accept. It will throw us error. Okay. If we wanted to use date time, format for date time is this one: year, then month, then date, then hour, minute, second, like this. Along with the date, we can store time also, like hours, minutes, and seconds. This is the format. Definitely, we need to use this format only for dates. Okay. So this is about the data types. So now what we will do? basically we understood that if we wanted to store numbers, either we will use int data type or float data type, right? So we know that salary column, salary in the sense we will store numbers only, right? So whenever we are defining this column name for salary column, we will give the data type either int data type or float data type. If we give that data types, it will allow me numbers only. Okay, after giving int or float data type, if I am trying to enter any character data, it will throw me error. It will say it is you already defined int data type, you need to enter numbers, you entered some wrong data. Like that, it will give us errors. For date of joining, obviously we will give date data type so that it will accept dates only. If I'm giving any other data, it will give me the error. Okay, that is how data types are important. Basically, we will define the data type, and according to that data type only, we can able to enter the values. Am I clear up to here? Last Boolean data type, actually, we have only two values in this, that is true and false. Very rarely we will use them. Okay, if we wanted to use only true false, then we will use Boolean as a data type. Okay, so up to here, am I clear? Everyone, any doubts? Feel free to ask me. Even you can type your doubts in
Ma'am.
chat box.
Yeah, yes, fine. Thank you.
Okay, great, thanks. Okay, let me continue. So we understood about data types, right? Now let's get back to create table syntax. I'm just copying the syntax and writing it at the bottom. Let's create our first table. This is the syntax, right? So just now we understood about the data types concept also. So let's create our first table. Let's create the same employees table, whatever we wrote here, right? So create table, table name is employees, right? We need to, within the brackets, we need to define the column names. My first column name is employee ID. Okay, employee ID, I wanted to give it in the numbers, so I'll give int as a data type. Okay, comma, employee name. Name in the sense, definitely it will be character data only. So let me give char for now. Okay, what is char, what is varchar, I'll explain you in a while. But one more point, let me explain you here. That is, whenever we are defining character data, we will define size also. Okay, what is the size in the sense, let me explain you here. So here I'm using char data, and whenever we are defining character data, we will define size also. How we will define size in the sense, after giving char or varchar, within the brackets we need to define the size. Suppose here I'm defining the size as 10. What is the size in the sense, I defined the size as 10 here for employee name column. That means here 10 I defined as the size. Okay, that is nothing but 10 bytes of memory. Okay, each byte, that is 1 byte, equals to 1 character. Okay, that is, I defined 10 as size here. That means we can define 10 characters in, we can enter up to 10 characters in employee name column. I reserved 10 bytes of memory for employee name column, so I can enter up to 10 characters only, because each byte of memory will occupy one character. Okay, as I define 10, suppose if I define 20 as a size here, I can enter up to 20 characters in employee name, like that. If I exceed, suppose more than 20 characters, if I am entering, I'll just give 10 only here. Okay, if I define 10 as a size, and if I try to enter more than 10 letter word, it will throw me error. So up to 10 letters, it can be 2-letter word, 3-letter word, 4-letter word, it's okay. Up to 10 we can enter in employee name. Okay, that is what size in the sense. Let me repeat, size is nothing but we are allocating some bytes of memory for this particular column name. So for employee name column, I'm allocating 10 bytes of memory. That is the reason I define size as 10. So each byte will occupy one character of the data. Okay, so as I define 10 as the size, I am allowed to enter up to 10 characters only in this employee name column. Okay, like that. So next column name is salary column. Obviously salary column, either again we know that it is numbers, but sometimes we can expect decimal values also as salary, like 2.3 lakhs, 1.2 lakhs, right? So I'm using float as the data type because float will accept normal numbers also as well as decimal values also. Okay, comma. Then next date of joining is one more column name. For that I'm giving date as a data type. Okay, so this is how we will create a table. Create table, table name, employees is my table. For employee ID, I defined int as a data type, employee name, char, and I gave size as 10, salary, float, next date of joining, date. Okay, this is how we will create the table. So let me execute this. I selected, I'm executing. You can see the table got created, right? Now let me refresh this once again. Now we can able to see that we can expand this tables. And if I'm expanding this tables, see this is what we created, employees table, right? Employees table. If I'm just clicking on this employees table, in the information section, it is showing me about all the information about the employees, that is column names and the data types, whatever we created, right? Like that. This is how we will create our table. Now only table structure we created, right? I gave the table name. I created the columns, that is table structure created. So suppose now if I wanted to enter the data inside the table, to enter the data, we will use insert command. Okay. We will use insert. Next command is insert command. Actually, it is used to insert data into the table. Okay. So we created table structure. Let's insert some data inside the table. For that, we will use insert command. For insert also, we will have a syntax, and the syntax will be insert into table name. Obviously, you need to remember all the syntaxes, but no worries. With practice, you can able to remember everything. No problem in that. Okay. So the syntax of insert is insert into table name. Values is a keyword which we need to write, and after that within the brackets we need to give the values. And every time while giving the values, we need to give the values in this sequence only, in the same column sequence we need to give the values. That is first employee ID, employee name, salary, date of joining. So let me give the first value. That is my first employee ID is 1, employee name may be Ram, then salary, then date of joining. Randomly I'm giving some data. Okay, so this is my first row data. Now observe here, for character data and for dates I used quotes, right? I used single quotes here. Every time for character data, whenever we are entering character data or date data, we need to use single quotes or else we can use double quotes. Okay, no problem, but we need to definitely use quotes. Only numbers we will give directly. Character data and dates we need to use either single quotes or double quotes. Inside the quotes only we need to enter the values. So what I'm doing here, within the brackets I'm trying to enter the value, and after each value I gave a comma. This is nothing but, comma is nothing but it is separating the columns, right? Here you can see I'm having 4 columns. After each value I'm giving a comma. Right, that is, this is employee ID column, this is employee name, salary column, date of joining. Okay, this comma is separating the column value. Once I am done with done giving all the values, I need to close the bracket. This is my first row of data. To give the second row, here only I'll keep a comma, and once again within the brackets we need to give the second row data, that is 2. Suppose Sam, I'm just randomly giving some data. But as I said, we need to use this format only. First year, then month, then date. Okay. This is my second row of data, then comma. Now I'm giving third row. Okay. Every time we need to use quotes for character data as well as 52, as well as dates. Okay. 2020. Let me give one more. 4 rows. I'll enter. I'm sorry, I think I got disconnected. Just a second.
Okay, okay.
Let me continue. I think just now I disconnected. I lost my internet connection. I hope you understood about how we inserted the data, right? I inserted 4 rows here. So
Yes.
after each row, we need to close the bracket and we will give the comma and we will give the second row data. I just executed this, but if you observe, I don't think you saw this. I got disconnected, I guess. I just executed it previously. I got an error stating table SQL demo1 dot table name doesn't exist, because previously I wrote like this table name because I started writing syntax and within the syntax only I gave the values, right? So table name, this TB name is not a table here. We have employees as a table name, right? That is the reason. Without seeing that, I just executed and it gave me the error, right? So I'm just removing this one. I'm giving the table name as employees and I'm executing once again. So like this, if we did any mistakes also, it will give us very clearly error messages here. Okay. Now I'm executing this once again. It got executed. Okay.
Yeah, same. I was thinking where is TB name existed and it
Yeah.
was written implies.
Yeah. Actually, I started writing as a syntax, right? Like this, I'll first write and then I'll give the once again I'll write the example, right? So here that is the reason I gave first TB name, but I forgot and I directly gave the values here itself. That is the reason it showed me error clearly that TB name doesn't exist because we don't have any table name with TB name, right? That is the
Mm.
reason I just changed it to employees. Now the data got inserted. So what we did, we created the table structure, we entered the data, we inserted the data. So to display the data, to display the output, we need to use one more command, that is select command. Okay. So we understood about two commands. Create command to create the table, to create the tables we will use create command. Next, insert command, to insert the data we will use insert command. And then select command, to display the data, to see the output we will use select command. Okay, so select command is used to display the output and the syntax will be select star from table name. Okay, here technically we will call this star as asterisk. This is nothing but whenever we wanted to display complete data, use it to display complete data. Whenever we wanted to display complete data, we will use star like this. Okay. So I wanted to display the complete table data. So I will use star. I will write it as select star from table name, that is employees. Okay. So let's execute. I'm just selecting. I'm executing. You can see we got the output here. Okay, employees is our table name and we have 4 columns: employee ID, employee name, salary, date of joining, 4 rows, right? Like this. Every time whenever we wanted to see the output, we will use select command, and if we wanted to see complete data, we will use star. Suppose instead of complete data, I wanted to see any particular data, then that particular names, that particular column names we can write, that is select. Suppose if I wanted to see only employee name and salary, then I'll write that particular column names instead of star from table name, that is employees. Okay, understood? If I wrote star, it will give me the complete data of the table. if instead of seeing complete data, if I wanted to see any particular column data, suppose here I wanted to see only employee name and salary. So in the place of star, we will give that column names. And if we execute this line, let me remove this. And if we execute this line, it will give us that particular data only, that is employee name, salary, like that. Okay. Instead of this column names, if we use star, it will give us complete data like that. And if you want to close this output, we can click on a cross mark here, right? Like this. So this is how we will create the table. We will insert the data and we will display the data. Okay. Now every time I'm writing the correct syntaxes and I'm showing you the correct output, but let's see some errors also. Okay. Suppose we understood about size here, right? For employee name column, we define 10 as size. And as I said, it is nothing but we are allocating 10 bytes of memory for employee name column. Each byte will occupy one character. So we are allowed to enter 10 characters into employee name, right? Suppose if I am entering more than 10 characters, then what kind of error we will get? Let's see. So obviously, let me insert one more time. How many times we want, we can insert the data. Okay, insert into table name, that is employees, values. I'll give fifth row, right? Fifth row, name. So for employee name column, I defined size as 10. So more than 10 characters I'll try to enter and let's see whether it is accepting or not. Okay, I'm just giving some random data, trying to give some random data more than 10 characters. Okay. Yeah, so maybe this is my employee name, which I'm having more than 10 characters. Okay, comma, salary column, comma, date of joining. Okay, now let's see what error we will get. I'm just selecting this, I'm executing. See, it gave me error stating data too long for column employee name, right? Because in employee name, while defining employee name, we defined size as 10. So as we define size as 10, we are supposed to enter up to 10 characters only. As I enter more than 10 characters in employee name, it is throwing me error stating data too long for column employee name. In employee name column, whatever data we are entering, that is too long, right? Like this, very clearly it will give us error messages. By reading the error messages, we will understand what mistake we did. Am I clear?
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, like that. Okay. So till now what we understood, we saw what is database, we understood what is SQL, we saw how to create the database, how to create the table, what are data types we understood. We created the table, inserted the data and we displayed the data, right? Now still we have time. Let me quickly explain about the difference. I mean, what is char and varchar? I said in character data, where is that? We have two types, that is char and varchar, right? Let me explain about the difference between, I mean, what is char, what is varchar, and what is the difference between char and varchar. Okay. So obviously, char and varchar are both data types which is used for character data. But what is the difference between char and varchar? Let's see now. Suppose for the same employee name column, previously I defined char as a data type and I defined size as 10, right? Suppose if I define char as a data type, what will happen? At the backend, it will allocate like this. Tap and just a second. It is not taking, just a second. Let me open Paint. It is not working. Okay, I'll explain here. Suppose for the employee name column, I'm defining char as a data type and I define size as 10. Okay, whenever we'll define like this, at the backend, what will happen? just to make you understand, I'm taking one box like this, okay, and I'm trying to make some divisions. As I define size as 10, I'm dividing this into 10 boxes, okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 10 boxes I divided as I took size as 10. Okay, so now what will happen? Suppose I entered John, so as our first employee. So as I said, each byte of memory will take each character, right? Suppose if I'm entering John, what will happen? First character in first box, second character in second box, H and N. Okay, like this. I entered 4-letter word, so it took 4 bytes of memory here, correct? Actually, I defined size as 10. That is the reason I took 10 boxes here. That is 10 10 bytes of memory I allocated. I divided that into 10 boxes. In each box, I took one character. Okay, I entered John, that is a 4-letter word. So it occupied 4 bytes of memory. Okay, here still 6 bytes of memory is left over, correct? So what will happen if I am using char as a data type? Whatever leftover 6 bytes of memory will be allocated with the blank spaces like this. It will take blank spaces like this. Okay, that is nothing but whatever data, whatever size we are defining here, the complete size will be used. If I am entering 3-letter word, if I am entering 4-letter word, it doesn't matter. The complete size will be used for the employee name column itself. Whatever leftover bytes are there, it will be filled with the blank spaces like this. So I can say memory is being wasted, correct? If I'm using char, our memory is being wasted because actually I need only 4 bytes of memory. I'm entering only 4-letter word, but still the remaining 6 bytes of memory is also being used by assigning blank spaces.
Yes.
Okay, so here I can say my memory is being wasted. But what will happen if we use varchar? In the sense exactly opposite. Suppose for the same employee name, just a second. Suppose for the same employee name, if I give varchar as a data type and I give 10 as the size, then what will happen? Instead of taking one more box, in this box only I'm showing, I'm just changing the color maybe. Suppose as here also I define the size as 10, right? So again I will take a one box. I divided that into 10, 10 boxes. Okay, suppose here I'm entering Ram. Okay, R in first box, A in first box, and M in third box. That is, I used 3 bytes of memory, correct? Here again remaining 7 bytes of memory is there, correct? Suppose if I am using varchar, how, I hope you understood. I'm using varchar here and I entered RAM as a name. That is 3 bytes of memory is used for RAM. Remaining 7 bytes of memory is left over. This 7 bytes of memory, whatever left over, what will happen? It will be given back to the database. Okay. The 7 bytes of memory here won't be used for employee name column. If I'm using varchar here, how much I need, that much memory only SQL will use. If I am entering John as a word, only 4 bytes of memory will be used. Remaining 6 bytes of memory will be given back to the database. So what I can say, if I am using varchar, my memory is not being wasted, right? If I'm using char, my memory is being wasted. If I'm using varchar, memory won't be wasted. Am I clear?
Yes, clear.
Okay, this is the main difference between char and varchar. So that is the reason in real time, we will prefer to use varchar every time. Okay, because in char we don't know, right, how much data we want. Maybe sometimes we are not sure how much data we are going to enter inside the table. So that is the reason every time we will prefer to use varchar only, so that how much data it is required, that much data will be only used for that column name. Remaining bytes of memory will be given back to the database so that memory won't be wasted. This is first point. And one more point is that in char, let me write here. In char, we can store up to 255 characters, whereas in varchar, we can store up to 64,527 characters. Okay, like this. Only 255 characters will be stored in char. If suppose we wanted to enter more than 255 characters, no other choice, we need to use varchar only. But how much also? By default, we will prefer to use varchar only in real time, because if we use varchar, memory won't be wasted. Okay, that is the concept. So again, this is a very important interview question for freshers. For freshers up to 2 to 3 years of experience, definitely you will expect this question in the interview. That is, what is the difference between char and varchar? Okay. First and foremost, first point you need to say that in char memory will be wasted. In varchar memory won't be wasted, and that is the reason in char we will call it as fixed length data type. Okay. Fixed length data type, we will call char as fixed length data type, because it will be fixed. If I'm giving 10 as a size, the length will be, the size will be fixed, right? Whereas in varchar, we will call it as variable length data type. That is, it is not fixed. If I use 10 as a data, if I define size as 10 also, variables in the sense characters, how many characters I'm entering, according to that character length only, the data, the length, the size will be taken, right? That is the reason. In char, it will be fixed. If I define size as 10, 10 bytes of memory will be used. Whereas in varchar, if I define 10 or if I define 100 also, no problem. If I'm entering only 5-letter word, that 5 bytes only will be used, right? That is the reason we'll call it as variable length. Variable is nothing but characters. Okay. And of course, mainly we will prefer to use varchar only in real time, but in which scenarios we will use char? In a sense, suppose we exactly know what kind of data we are entering into the table. For example, gender column. Right, in gender column we know what data we will enter, either male or female, right? So at that time we know how many characters we are going to enter. In that scenarios we can use char, no problem. So if we exactly know how much data we are entering, we can use char, no problem. If I mean, in some other cases also, if we use char, no problem, but memory will be wasted. So that is the reason we will prefer to use varchar every time. Okay, I hope it is clear up to here. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. And this is a course content, as I said yesterday, starting from the very from the very basics. I'll explain all the concepts, all the advanced concepts also. As we are done with the time, once again, I'm not explaining every concept. In yesterday's video, you can observe, I already explained about this course content, right? And the main specialty of my class is that first thing, I'll upload direct SQL files for you, so that while revising it will be very easy for you. And the second most important specialty is that up to integrity constraints only, I'll explain you by using basic tables. Okay, once we are done with this concept, I'll give you a real-time project that is a kind of movies database or OTT platform database. This is a real-time database. Okay, where we have some thousands of rows. If you practice in learning process also, if you practice by using real-time database, then it will be, it will get a kind of hands-on experience for you. Once you joined in any company, definitely you will start working with real-time databases, right? It will be easy for you. All the this from here, our main concepts will start. All the main concepts we will learn by using this real-time database only. I'll give you this database. I'll show you how to restore this database into your systems, and then we'll start our main concepts. Okay, up to here this is basics, and then I'll give you the database, and then our main concepts start. For each and every concept we will use this database, we will solve so many examples, we will learn very practically. And as I said, joins is however, SQL is a kind of backbone for the complete IT industry. Joins is a kind of backbone for the SQL. Okay, we will use joins very frequently in real time. So only for joins concept, what I will do, we have so many types of joins. I'll explain so many examples in class. Along with that example, I'll give some assignment questions also, like some practice questions. I'll give some time for you, like 1 week or 10 days. Again, it's up to you. If you are interested, then only you can solve them, so that you can check yourself that can you able to solve joins or not. Okay, after 10 days or 1 week, whenever you are ready, I'll explain that solutions in the class, so that you can just recheck yourself. You can validate yourself whether you can able to solve them or not. Okay, so all the advanced concepts also will be covered here, and at the end I will discuss some interview questions along with the answers. Okay, the fees is only 3000. And as I said, most important thing, this is an add-on batch. Last week I already started a batch at 7 o'clock. Okay, so whoever will get registered here, those students will be added into that 7 o'clock batch. So after demos, maybe from the next week, our class timing will be from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST. Okay, whoever, just keep that in mind. If that timing is suitable for you, then only please join. Okay, because the timing of the batch will be from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, we already got few students there. Whoever will get registered here, you also will be added to that batch, and from Monday we will continue with that students. Till Monday, I'll just balance the concepts. Whatever I explain for them, I'll just explain for you. Okay, in this week. Clear? Anyone, any doubts?
From Monday onwards, again, course will be started from scratch, or
No.
we
I'll
have to go
continue.
through the recorded videos.
Recorded videos?
Like we
Not
have
on.
to go
Mhm.
through the recorded videos, or it will be from scratch
Not scratch
course.
actually. Whatever I explained today. Today we started our first class, right? So I explained about databases and I explained about creating tables, right? So from here, our course will continue actually. Okay. So from Monday, I'll
Oh,
just continue. For them, I'm here in this concept. So till Monday, I'll just complete these concepts for you, and from Monday, I'll continue. Once again, I don't explain all these concepts. So this is our main course content only. I'm not going to explain. And tomorrow, if we get any new students also, I don't repeat all the concepts. I'll just continue. Tomorrow's class, I'll start sub languages concept. Okay, all these recordings, as I said, tomorrow is our last demo. So till just for 2 days you can watch them in YouTube if you want. After 2 days you will get a folder access, and from when are you starting Tableau? Can you send the content? Tableau this month I'm not starting, Jyoti. I'm little bit busy this month. Maybe next month. You can find in DurgaSoft website, you will have the course content. You can just check it out from there, or else going forward I'll send you once in our regular classes. Anyways, this month I'm not starting Tableau. Maybe after Dasara. Okay, yeah. All right. So that is what, Srikanth. I won't repeat these concepts again. I'm just continuing. I will explain everything along with the examples only, slowly only. From Monday, I'll just join. You'll be moved to that batch, and whatever topics next topics are there, I'll continue from then. Okay.
like in JDBC, Java database connectivity,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So we use same same structure, same MySQL, whatever you're teaching,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Here.
Right, right. Same SQL, same
So
SQL.
same scenarios and installation process and database
Everything.
connectivity
Yeah,
and
everything is same.
queries will
Same
be same, right?
concepts, the same. The queries will be same. Syntaxes will be same. Everything. That is what. Along with the SQL, it's up to you. Whatever topics, whatever domain you select. If you're selecting into Java, along with SQL, you need to learn those concepts, right? If you are into data analytics, along with the SQL, you need to learn any visualization tool like that. But the concepts will be same.
Any SQL server will be it.
Uh,
SQL server.
SQL Server in the sense, see, SQL Server is a database. MySQL is also database. Whatever syntaxes we are learning here, those syntaxes you can use in SQL Server also. If you want,
Oh,
one day I'll show you the user interface of SQL Server. Actually, in my Tableau classes, I will explain SQL Server. So I'll show you how SQL Server will look like. Okay, and this concepts will be same syntax. I'll if you want I can create one table and I'll show you in SQL Server.
Yeah, fine,
But
fine.
the syntaxes will be same. You can use all the syntaxes there also. Okay.
Till how many demo classes are there?
Tomorrow is the
One.
last demo. Yeah. Usually 3
Okay,
demos I'll
original
give.
course
Yesterday we
will be.
started.
Yeah, original course will be started from Monday, right? Next week.
Not like that. As I said, I won't repeat all these classes
Yeah, you
again.
will
Okay.
continue the
Yeah,
next
I'll continue. I'll
topics.
continue because tomorrow I'll start sub-languages concept. Like that, I'll continue, and I'm explaining like operator for them. So I need to finish all these concepts this week. These are actually small concepts only. 2 days it will take to finish all these concepts. So till Monday, I'll finish them and finish these concepts, and I'll continue from Monday with functions like that.
So what about the completed videos, man? Can we find it in your folder?
I mean, completed in the sense only yesterday's video, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
We can
yesterday's
check it in YouTube, right?
YouTube, you can check
Any
it.
other.
As you attended today's session, tomorrow you will get a mail from our admin team. Okay,
Yeah.
like this. There you will find the demo video link. But once after 2 days, they will give you folder access. They will give you Google Drive access, where you can find in that folder you can find all the videos from first. From the first class, you can find all the videos. Okay.
Yeah, yes. Because I am
After
seeing here in the middle of course, the MySQL workbench has already installed. And
no. It is not installed actually. That is what I said. After
okay,
demo classes, I'll show you installation process.
okay, that's fine.
Okay. I just today see yesterday only our first class. Whatever I said yesterday, everything is I said today also. I shown you
Okay,
the already user interface, right? Nothing is missed for you. Once maybe tomorrow is our last demo, right? On Thursday, I'll show you the installation process. Okay.
okay, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, then I have one more batch now. So I'm ending session for today. Tomorrow is also our demo class only, last demo. As I said, I'll continue the classes. Tomorrow I'll start sub-languages concept. So let's meet tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, in 35 days, the course will be
Yes,
ended,
in
right?
35 sessions actually. Saturday, Sunday I won't take class. In 35 sessions, course will be finished.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
All right. Yeah. Okay, then let's meet tomorrow. Bye.